Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and here's some of the top stories we have for you tonight. Bullets match a suspect's gun used in a deadly shootout. Your Crime Stoppers report for Wednesday, and find out who are the super cops of the territory. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, ballistics tests have now confirmed that the gun used to shoot a police officer in the chest over the weekend is the same gun found in the possession of 22-year-old Marilyn Williams. News Channel 8's Wes Small updates on this twisted tale.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. First, I want to tell you about that press conference from yesterday. Remember, 10 minutes to 12, and then we understand that it was called off because Police Chief Benta had business elsewhere. Well, we could certainly understand that. But now there's a 1 o'clock press conference on St. Thomas. So my questions then still remain unanswered. What about the last 72 hours of carnage that we had over the weekend? When are these things going to be tied up? But I guess you can't fight City Hall. Anyway, I'll just have to stand out here by myself and try to put these statistics together. Some of these do come from the VIPD and Police Chief Benta himself. Ballistic tests have now confirmed that the gun used to shoot a VIPD officer and his bulletproof vest is the same weapon found in possession of 22-year-old Marlon Williams. Marlon Williams was shot twice in his lower right side during that deadly police shootout that took the life of his accomplice, 24-year-old Jamal Lopez. Lopez also shot 2 times in his right side. He did not make it. Hard to believe, as we saw over 25 casings and shells marked out, that these 2 suspects only got hit twice, and very lucky that that police officer, even though he was hit point blank, was hit in his bulletproof vest, so he survived. So now that means Williams's bail now jumped up to an astronomical amount. $250,000, $250,000. Police Chief Benta has said in a prepared statement that these 2 were persons of interest in the deadly Grove Place shooting that took the life of 20-year-old Deshane Watts. Williams has reportedly now told detectives as he was interviewed that yes, he was driving that stolen CRV that was carjacked earlier in the week, and he also admits to having one of the guns. Remember, it was 2 9mm found in that car, but he claims he never shot the officer. Well, I'm sure we haven't heard the last of that case. And that is a brief look at your crime report. There is a robbery to report on, Jerome. I'm pretty sure that you're going to have it before I do. It's a little early out here. Perhaps by press time, we can give it to you to report on. But like I said, robberies against businesses and your homes and carjackings are all on the rise. In Lorain, at headquarters, I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
And in other police news, it's Wednesday, and News Channel 8's Wes Small asks for a moment of silence for those who are victims of murder in our territory.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. It is Wednesday. Let's do Crime Stoppers. Not a normal Crime Stoppers, if you will. This is a plea to come forward on cold cases, to solve murders, unsolved murders. We want you to think about loved ones and friends who were murdered, cases that have not been solved. If you can provide information that could lead to an arrest of a murder suspect, that minimum reward is $1,500. Can we please have a moment of silence and remembrance for these murdered victims? For I believe that their souls will never rest until you come forward and speak out. 33-year-old Philomena, Marine worker Albert Hendrickson, 17-year-old Stephanie Harris, 19-year-old Dale Robertson, St. John businessman Juan Ayala, 13-year-old Akeem Kareem Haighu, taxi driver Rutherford Prevost, 26-year-old Kenrick Mason, even the VIPD's own Herman Hendricks, who is a retired police corporal. And I'll never forget Lazi at 5 Corners as he played dominoes. I really feel that until we find out what happened to Lazi, the devil will continue to be busy in our territory. So can we get a moment of silence? And then we need to speak out and get loud instead of being like ostriches with our heads in the sand when trouble comes. We need to come forward when hit and run people when they run over our children at night and our senior citizens. We need to come forward. We need to come forward so we could put the gangsters and the thugs behind bars where they belong, so we could go freely about our business, to work and to play day and night, so we shouldn't have to worry about where we park our car. We're not animals, so why should we treat each other like animals? 1-800-222-TIPS, 1-800-222-8477. Please do what you can. I'm Wes Small for Crime Stoppers on News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes, and that's your Crime Stoppers report. And just who are the top cops in our territory? Here's Melody Rames with an update on Police Officers of the Month.
The Virgin Islands Police Department and the VI Hotel and Tourism Association, in conjunction with the VIPD Community Integration Team, honored 3 police officers for being selected Officer of the Month for June, July, and August. The officers honored were Officer Jamal Griffin, Officer Orlando Benitez Jr., and Officer Melford Murray. Officers of the Month are selected for their outstanding accomplishments for the respective months. Each month, supervisors and commanders submit the names of officers with exemplary achievements to the Deputy Chief of Police. During a monthly meeting, the candidates are evaluated by all supervisors and commanders, and the officer with the most outstanding record is selected as Officer of the Month. Officers selected for this prestigious commendation are recognized with certificates, hotel stays, and other gifts from the Virgin Islands Hotel and Tourism Association. The police department presents the officers with special VIPD items, such as a leather portfolio, mugs, or other promotional items. The commendation is considered during VIPD promotional evaluations and toward the annual Officer of the Year selection. Police Commissioner Novell E. Francis and Assistant Commissioner Raymond L. Hyman, along with Police Chief Oakland Benta and Deputy Chief of Police Christopher Howell, applauded the officers for their dedication to duty. Commissioner Francis said these officers personified the admirable qualities found in so many Virgin Islands police officers. However, the selected officers' accomplishments in that particular month were far above the parameters of the job, and that, coupled with the officers' teamwork and unwavering dedication to the Virgin Islands Police Department and the community, qualified him for this selection. The commissioner said, "I am proud to honor them, and I thank all of our officers for the good work they do for the community on a daily basis." Officer Jamal Griffith is assigned to the Wilbur Francis Zone B Command. In June, this field training officer had a felony arrest for unauthorized possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, simple possession of a controlled substance, destruction of property, and domestic violence. Additionally, Officer Griffin arrested a suspect on aggravated assault and battery charges, despite being assaulted himself with a household item and nearly being run over with a vehicle driven by the suspect before the suspect attempted to flee the scene. In another arrest, Officer Griffin confiscated a firearm, marijuana, and a large quantity of ammunition. And while racking up these accomplishments, Officer Griffin prepared 6 reports, 2 supplement reports, issued 19 citations, and performed 2 building security checks. Officer Griffin has shown bravery, continues to challenge himself, and is dependable. His motivation is seen in his work performance. Officer Griffin respects his fellow officers and works with others to accomplish his goals. Officer Orlando Benitez Jr. is assigned to the Christian Said Bike Patrol. In this capacity, Officer Benitez proactively patrols the Christian Said town area, helping to resolve community issues. In July, Officer Benitez was assigned to 6 cases, wrote 9 supplements, issued 3 traffic citations, and executed 6 arrests, 4 during his tour of duty and 2 while he was off duty. He dealt with a stalking, disturbance of the peace, execution of a warrant, a grand larceny, and 2 unauthorized possessions of unlicensed firearms. These firearms, a .40 caliber and a 9mm, were found to have live rounds in the magazines. Officer Orlando Benitez joined the Virgin Islands Police Department on February 22, 2005, and has displayed exemplary service to the community and the department. He is currently assigned to the Anselmo D. Marshall Zone A Command. In August, Officer Melford Murray handled 29 cases and followed up on 8 of those cases. He issued 10 citations, made 8 arrests, including 1 felony arrest and 7 misdemeanor arrests. His aggressiveness assisted in the apprehension of 6 adult suspects and 1 minor involved in a fight in a housing community. That arrest helped restore peace in the community and halted possible retaliation. Officer Murray is presently assigned to the Anselmo Marshall Command Zone A Patrol Division. Before joining this division, this 9-year veteran officer was a member of the Christiansted burglary team. The skills and training he developed as a part of that team aided him in resolving domestic violence and assault cases, which may have otherwise been fatal. In one case, he responded to a victim who was assaulted with a baseball bat, gathered the necessary information at the scene, which led to the arrest of the suspect. Officer Murray is highly motivated, goes above and beyond the call of duty, and is proactive. Officer Murray deserves to be recognized for his good work at the police department.
Thanks, Melody, IPO officer of the Virgin Islands Police Department. When we come back from this break, your Caribbean Report is next.